today, the future of black music in America, and positive music matters.
Right.
Amen?
Amen.
So that mighty weekly.
Amen.
I just want to welcome you. This is, to me, a very important seminar, if you will. And music makes a difference. Music tells a story. Music let us know where we're at right now in our journey. And for me, somehow, we sort of lost our way in terms of what we're going through and the kind of music that we're hearing. So, I want to introduce, is LeDerrick Horn here?
Yes, he is.
Okay. I'd like to introduce LeDerrick Horn. He's going to come and bring the spoken word. Let's greet him with a heart, amen.
All right, how's everybody doing?
All right.
All right. So, I think I'll do maybe 3 poems. Can y'all stand 3 poems?
You can.
All right. Okay. So, this is Adam in the Garden. All right, y'all having a good time. The Lord said to Eve, "Where's Adam?" Well, Adam's in the garden, pinning leaves. The Lord said to Eve, "Where's Adam?" Adam's in the garden, pinning leaves. It ain't good to be alone. You see, this truth is known from the highest throne to the lowliest brother on the block. Just watch and dig how the need to connect will make many forget. And others switch sides like players switch rides to gain attention. You see, there's this tension between self-preservation and the all too real fact that, Jack, you ain't gonna make it on your own. And so we team up. The lucky ones find love and throw some rings up, while most have to expand the construct of family to include dudes like Ray Ray, White Mike, and Malik from down the hall. You see, loneliness is the abyss, and here's the fall. I would sacrifice paradise to keep my wife by my side. The same way them young boys throw down for their sets like they ain't afraid to die. I guess that's why I'm pinning these lyrical leaves to keep them from running wild. Ooh, child. The Lord said to Eve, "Where's Adam?" Well, Adam's in the garden, pinning leaves. The Lord said to Eve, "Where's Adam?" Adam's in the garden, pinning leaves. All right. Like the banks at Raritan, my soul's been bent. See, I was born by that river. I've been flowing ever since. If you want to completely understand me, you got to see this place. Because my feet have walked the streets and my heels have left a trace all over the 9th exit, where Asada got arrested and thrown into a cage that was rat infested. The contradictions, they're kind of hard to see. We got a healthcare city, but it's infested with poverty. We got substandard schools next to the university, where Paul Robeson copped his first degree. We got corporate headquarters built from brick and mortar, right next to bus stops where junkies hustle for quarters. Don't think twice about your vice. These cats will take your order and slide you some things and they cop across the border. Your order, feel the energy in the summertime. Little kids riding bikes and brothers dropping rhymes over beats that they cop from basement studios. They put their dreams in their schemes and their hustles and their flows, and every rhyme they write is like a biography. They put their lives in the air when they speak their poetry. And in between them lines is where you can find me, a lover of the words from poets and MCs. Please, it takes more than just adrenaline. Freestyles are disciplined, verses that never end. Words we peddling, young bucks and veterans, gone for a while, but ooh, child, I'm back again. Brown skin, long locks with a wicked grin. Skills tight every night, put the pad to pen. Creates the page like the strings of a violin, but not Mozart, because my art is all kinds of African. Remixing terms like dumb, deaf, and blind, not whose dreadlocks ruled in '09. Warm it up, kid. Warm it up. Thank you, sir.
Spoken word, LeDerrick Horn. Let's give him a round of applause. Before I bring on John Brinkley, I do want to acknowledge Positive Community. They're a big reason as to why we are here today. Adrian Council, let's give them a round of applause. Also wanted to thank the City of Plainfield Cultural and Heritage Commission. They're a reason why we're here. They helped sponsor this. City National Bank, I don't believe they're here as of yet, but when they come in, we'll acknowledge them. And also Ray Catana, Mercedes-Benz. For everyone here, you'll get a Mercedes-Benz when you. But I want to bring on John Brinkley. John Brinkley is the brains, inspiration, pretty much everything around this cultural heritage. So, you don't like a whole lot of stuff, prayers or what have you. But I got the mic, bro. But I do want to thank him, and I want to acknowledge him, and he's going to present the panel.
Thank you. I don't want to take a lot of time because I know this is an important topic because you know, what you hear in your ear becomes a part of who you are. And you know, it affected us when I was coming up during the 60s, and I know it's affecting young people these days. So this is an important topic. Our moderator is going to be Adrian Council, who has a passion about positive music. And I think that with our panel, we span the gospel to the R&B to we span it all, spoken word and so on. So without further ado, I do want to recognize, however, the Plainfield Arts Council. President is back there, Anna Hackridge is the president of the Plainfield Arts Council, who is they're doing a lot of good things here in Plainfield to highlight the arts, recognize artists, and to really help to establish the Plainfield Performing Arts Center. So we look forward to seeing what they're doing. You can go to their website also, plainfieldartscouncil.org, and you'll see what's going on with that. But without further ado, I'd like to bring on Adrian Council, who will give a little bio on each of our panelists.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the show. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here today. We're happy to have you here with us, and I want you to get ready because you've entered into a special place for an extraordinary conversation. You are now attending an intergenerational love affair in classic black. Under the banner, Positive Music Matters, this is a wholesome discussion about the future of black music in America. We cannot have an honest talk about the future without thoughtful analysis about the past. Each of us is a culmination of experiences that lead us to exactly where we are today. We seek conversation among those who enjoy a deeper knowledge about the history of black music in America and connect knowledge and wisdom with ideas and ideals for future attainment. Yes, it is the young people that will carry forth a collective vision of progress, peace, and goodwill into the future. Just because a thing is old or as they would say, passé, does not mean that it should be despised. Just because a thing is new or novel, it should not be unconditionally embraced either. It is through a balance of the wisdom and experience of the elders contrasted with knowledge and creative genius of our young people that we ensure the future. But first and foremost, the objective today is to inspire in each of us a hunger for truth and a thirst for righteousness. Today, we speak soul to soul to all that is great and good in each of us as we journey together on this road less traveled. So open up your hearts because positive music matters. Say that, everybody. Positive music matters. And I want to just begin by thanking our good friends at Frontiers International for opening up their doors and welcoming us in. And so we just have today the Positive Community. We will introduce a series of roundtable discussions over the months about the future of black music in America. This panel features knowledgeable and wise thought leaders, our very best and brightest minds. Now, more than ever, it is time to consider the essentials, the fundamentals, and the absolutes. You see, what's so very important is that we do enter into this kind of conversation where we're talking to those things that really matter, the things that deal with our future. So, I don't have, I want to introduce the panel to you. Over to my left, right here, we have Reverend Stephanie Minity of Jubilation. As I sit here, I realize that Reverend Minity is very well known here in the Plainfield community. As a former teacher, and she's taught some of my children, and also as someone who has, does everybody have the bios? Do I have to read through the bios? I don't think so. Okay, I don't have to read through the bios. So we have Reverend Stephanie Minity, and next to Stephanie Minity, we have Mr. Lawrence Liggins. Lawrence Liggins is the band director for Music and Arts High School in Newark, New Jersey. Now, let me just say this. I had an opportunity to hear the band that was featured at an event. And these 17-year-old children, man, they were rocking Sidewinder, they were rocking Song for My Father, all of the classic jazz songs. I mean, it was there. And so I just couldn't avoid not having him here. And then the young lady, Alex. Alex, your last name? Riley. Spoken word artist. And we're going to have everybody say a word or two. Hey, Lyle, you're here. Okay, good. Lyle is with, say the name of the group?
Negros Americanos.
Negros Americanos. I see them every day when I'm at the Hubstein's school working out. I see you got one of your stickers out there. So, and certainly we're really happy to have one of the members of the R&B legendary band, Ray Goodman and Brown, Mr. Ice, who I happened to have heard on the radio not too long ago, talking about just this subject, the future of black music in America. So, you know, and Daryl just came into the room, Frontiersman. Thank you.
I am, as he said, Stephanie Minity. I am so glad to be with you this morning. I taught in the Plainfield Public School District for almost 30 years at Plainfield High School, and I'm very passionate about what is happening musically day to day. So I've come to listen, to learn, and to share. That is my job today, to listen, to learn, and to share, and I'm just privileged to be with you.
Okay, now Mr. Lawrence Liggins.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am honored to be here today. I want to echo what Reverend Dr. Minity just mentioned about being here today to listen, to learn, and also to share some of my experiences as a teacher, as a musician. And I thought about, as I was sitting here, I thought about when I was younger. My mother used to take me to the Black Film Festival every year in Newark. And that was such an education culturally. and I'm kind of equating that to what's happening right now today, is I was on that side listening to speakers talk about their films, about the projects they were working on, and now I'm over here sharing my experiences. So I'm grateful that this is happening, Adrienne and John. So thank you. Thank all of you for being here today.
Alex?
Hello. Hello, I'm Alexandria Riley. I'm the youngest person on the panel. I'm just really excited to be here, especially because this topic is about me, and I really wanted to share I guess the youth's point of view on the subject matter, and also to see how everybody else feels about it, since, you know. But I just wanted to thank John for inviting me, and I'm really excited to see what everyone has to say.
My name's Lyle, Plainfield, born and raised. I'm happy, very excited to be here as a practitioner of hip hop culture, and to speak on that behalf, but also to see Miss Minity. You know, I went to high school with you. I remember Miss Minity. It's been a while, right? And then Alex as well. She puts together really good open mics, right? That I've been a part of, and so it's an honor to be up here. And Ice too. This is my uncle, so you know, it's a great place to be, and we're around some very wise folks right now.
How y'all doing? My name is Ice. I'm really glad to be a part of this for two reasons. One reason is I feel the direct effect of rap music because old school, we call it school, just cool school. They're pushing us further and further back because you don't matter because of what's selling. It's all about the dollar in America. And we got to be careful because it is a conspiracy and it's a direct reflection of our culture because, see, the past is the bridge to the future. And we don't get the kids in the house and have them listen to what we listen to. You didn't see the Four Top shooting at the Temptations? You didn't see the Delphonics running, fighting in moments, but every time you see a rap video, somebody got shot at, somebody did something, and now the promoters for our music, they can't get the venues because the actual insurance policy on those buildings then went from $100,000 to $1.5 to $2 million a night now. So we are forced to okay, we got to go back and find somewhere that will accommodate us and get some buildings. And most of the people that come out to our shows are they're come on now, we're seniors now, we all are. So in the area that those buildings that they can get for the price that they can afford is not really neighborhoods that older senior citizens want to venture in. So it forces us to say, man, we got to do something about it because like I tell my nephew and I tell my son all the time, you know, when you look at music, it's not just there for you to dance to, it's therapeutic. Because whatever comes in your ears is going to embody your soul. You're going to take it with you. That's why I say be careful of the message you give them today because they're going to sing it tomorrow. You got to tighten up on the household. Play the Four Top Temptation because when we was doing this, they weren't even born. So how do they know the difference? They don't. They don't. That's what we got to teach them.
Thank you. This music in the background is the music of Ray Goodman and Brown Moments. That's right. And he is, and Ice has been very, John, give it a rise for a second. Okay, thank you. So as we get into this, and as we said that we're going to deal with the fundamentals of black music, and we're going to deal with the fundamentals, the absolutes, and the essentials of music, we have to begin this conversation by just asking the simple question, and we want everyone on the panel to answer it in a very short but concise way. What is music and what does a musician do? Reverend Stephanie.
Well, in my opinion, music is message. Because when you hear, whatever you hear, subliminally and internally, the music stays with you. So music to me is message. And what, in my opinion, musicians should do is that they are responsible for the music that people hear. They are personally, I think they should be personally responsible for what they put out for people to hear.
I was getting ready to call you reverendly.
That's okay. So music to me is an expression of the human spirit. And this expression has been conveyed in many ways over time through different genres and different styles of music. But it is definitely an expression of our human spirit. That spirit has conveyed things that have gone on culturally, spiritually. Music is a reflection, makes political statements sometimes, and social statements. And the job of a musician is to express the human spirit in all of those ways, politically, socially, and whether they're a singer, whether they're instrumentalists, and certainly music has done that over the years. African-American music has, from slavery time to current, present time, music has been expressed that way.
Okay, Ms. Riley, your thoughts?
In my opinion, I think music is a way for all of us to connect to each other. Not even just with the lyrics, like certain instruments make you feel a certain way, certain sounds, certain frequencies make you feel a certain way. And I feel as though a musician's purpose and responsibility is to be able to connect with their audience while expressing an honest and true raw emotion that they want to convey.
Okay. Mr. Lyle?
Yes, music to me is just a pattern of vibrations, right? That sometimes feel good, sometimes don't. You know, it could be music that can lift you up. It could be music that can bring you down, but it's a vibration. And we have heartbeats, so it's easy to relate, you know, on that level. And it's medicine. For me, it's therapy. When I'm going through something, some music I put on and it bring me back. You know, if I'm down, it'll bring me back up, you know, or help me focus. So I think it's because there's all types. There's all types of music. It's a vibration. It's a vibration that sounds good.
Okay, Larry Winfrey?
To me, music is life. And I say that to say this. Every song you've listened to, good or bad, there was some reflection in it, that somewhere in your life you encountered that somewhere, and it's going to either motivate you to gravitate toward that experience, to learn from it, or burn from it. But it's life, because it's the way you connect with the masses of some experience you went through and you're trying to save somebody else that grief or that pain. So it's up to the artist that when he's putting out music, just like Curtis Mayfield did in the 60s, keep on pushing, we're a winner, we're moving on up. James Brown, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. See, these were songs that made you think, okay, I got to do better than what I'm doing. Because my dad always said that when you dwell in the past, you kidnap your future. So somewhere in here, we have to get that trend back on track, that a good song is not about how it's making you feel good and if you like it. It's the message. Because it's life, whether we like it or not. I mean, that's why we have this society now where everybody want to be a gangster and a prankster and shoot up the town. And all they doing is causing banks to build jails and incarcerate, so they got a revolving door syndrome. We don't get you now, we'll get you later. Put it on the air, because you're going to reflect to it. You see, you know, my dad said one time, there was a man in my town, I'll keep this quick, and the guy got tired with the wrong kind of crowd, a young man. My father said, well, listen, you need to be the bigger man. And he asked my father, why should I be the bigger man and walk away? He said, because being a bigger man is being better than a dead man.
That's right. That's right.
So sometimes you have to think this music is exactly that. It resonates in your spirit.
Thank you. And I also want to say that what's so very important is that we never lose sight of the fact that when we talk to Larry, and when we talk to the panel, and when we speak to the young people, we are dealing with a continuum here. This is not just, well, we just started this.
Right.
But every one of us are a culmination of all of those experiences. I don't care if you're young, if you're old, whatever it is, you are a part of everything. You are a part of the blues, you're a part of the jazz, you're a part of the Negro spirituals, the gospels, the work songs, and all of those things. So we want to make sure in this conversation that we're launching our young people into the future, into what we can preserve, protect, and promote. So the next question that I have is that, are the children aware of the sacrifices made on their behalf by our forefathers to foster community pride, intelligent patriotism, and world progress? I'll let anybody stand with that one.
The answer to that question, in my opinion, is no.
That's right.
I took some young people to Ghana when I was in Plainfield. I wanted them to experience the world outside of this area. And they were, and still are, amazed at what they experienced. I'm going to ask in this room, if you're 25 or younger, stand up.
There's a nice representation.
Look around, everybody, because this is who we need to be talking to. These, you can have a seat. These young people, we have to find a way to communicate with them. Not about what we did, because they really don't care what we did. They're not going to tell you, but they don't care. They don't. You know, it's nice, we'll hear it, but what are you doing? What can you say to me now that will garner my attention? And so that needs to be our focus. We don't like what they're listening to, but we got to tell them why we don't like it. We've got to explain to them why we have these feelings, listen to what they have to say, but also explain to them what has happened in the past. They don't know history. They don't know their history. Their history is not being taught in the school systems. So once they learn their history and they learn what our people have gone through, then they can pass it on to others. And what we want to do is take these young people that are amongst us and pass information on so that when we're dead and gone, there will be something, they'll be sitting on panels, or they'll be bringing their kids to panels, that kind of thing. We got to put it in them. So that's my point. Yeah. Let me get off my soapbox.
Alex, would you like to add anything to that?
About you.
We were talking about are the children aware of the great sacrifices made on their behalf by our forefathers to foster community pride, intelligent patriotism, and world progress?
Okay.
Kind of loaded, but.
I agree. I think the answer is no. Especially because I come from a predominantly white school, like that's the school I'm in right now. And Black History Month, 2 seconds. First day, okay, Martin Luther King did his thing. Last day, Rosa Parks sat on that bus. And that's just how that goes. I feel as though we're not really aware, and I can speak on this like for myself. We're not really aware because, like what Ms. Manatee said, we don't really know like the true depth of our history. Like, yeah, slavery, civil rights movement, and now we know like police brutality. Like that's really like the basis of what we're being taught. And I feel as though in order to really enlighten my generation, is we would have to really like understand. I remember when I was in 5th grade, my teacher, she really cared about Black History Month. We was doing it till June. And she said, okay, I'm gonna show you what it's like to be in a segregated school. So all the Black kids are sitting on the floor. We didn't have any white kids in the class, so like the Spanish kids were the white kids. And they were like sitting in the desk, and I'm biracial, so I was sitting in like the back of the room. I couldn't hear nothing. And it really like opened my mind. I was like, this really could have been like, this could have been me. So I think the youth today is not aware of the sacrifices being made, because when it's being taught, especially from like parents and teachers, it kind of sounds like we're being like, like the way it's being taught is like we're being ungrateful and we don't understand. And I feel as though if it was conveyed differently, it would be accepted differently.
Okay. You want to answer that?
Yeah, just to add to, yeah, Alex brought up a good point. I agree. They don't know. I didn't know. You know, it's not something that's a priority as far as being taught in the schools. Black history, knowing your own history. You spend 12 years worshiping slave masters and these founding fathers, and you don't see yourself in that narrative. And if you do, it's for 1 month. It's always the same thing, right? So unless there's parents, hip hop went from selling crack to smoking it, you know, popping pills. We're in a drug addict hip hop era. The 90s was like drug dealer hip hop era, but there were still some gems. And those voices over time have been stomped out intentionally. There's an agenda to keep us ignorant. So if we know better, we probably would do better. You know, I don't think we're innately ignorant. I just think we just don't know. And we've had so much stolen from us. We have a big job to put a lot back into us. I think that's what it is. And the tool that I'm seeing working for me in the classroom is hip hop as the opener. You begin with that, right? You say your culture does matter. Your youth culture does matter. I'm not into a lot of the stuff that they're listening to, but I find a way to trick them and by engaging them with something that they care about first and then bringing it back to Gil Scott-Heron or to the Last Poets. Or, you know, we start with J. Cole or Kendrick. Okay, good, they like him? All right, so now maybe I can bring him over to Nas. Maybe from there I can bring him over to, you know, learn some Ivan Van Sertima, right? I heard these names in hip hop first. I learned about Marcus Garvey because I heard it in a rap song, you know, and somebody who was respectable to me as youth was talking about it. So it's like, we gotta figure out a way to bridge that gap. And there are folks that are doing it, and it's working, you know?
So let me ask you this one other question though. Are people like, I mean, like, are young people aware that hip hop is a derivative of bebop and R&B and all of the other things? Do they see that there's a connection here? And I want you to answer that too, Larry. Just give me, let Bob.
Question previous.
Okay.
Real brief, no. They, a lot of them think it's a brand new thing. It didn't come from anywhere, and it's like, you know, they even because this is what's happening. It started in '73, so it's reaching. It's brand new in comparison to other forms of music, and it's changed so many times, right? So a lot of students that I deal with, they're like, "Oh, you listen to old rap." And it's stuff from the early 2000s, right? So then I'm like, man, so Kool Moe Dee is way off to them. It sounds like Louis Armstrong. Like when they listen to that, no, that's how they. So it's hard, but you gotta find a way to engage them.
Okay, and
Previous question? No, and I'll tell you why the kids don't understand where we came from. Because when I went to school, I went to an all-black school. So it was a pride thing to learn. You know, then they came up with the integration, and then you started getting pushed to the back of the room, and all your contributions to society was slavery, picking cotton. But when I went to school, I had black teachers. They didn't go home. If you didn't get it, they put you in front of the blackboard. The parents that were the students that was having a problem with bringing food until you got it. So you might be down at 8, 9 o'clock at night, but you knew. Now you got kids in high school ready to get unemployment and Social Security, 34 years old, can't do the basic timetable with a dog on the iPad. Really?
That's right.
Where people come from? No kid left behind. No, you leave behind because we going to get them again because we seniors. They're going to be running the country while we running around here on canes and wheelchairs, really? But I'm going to tell you, with the music thing, hip-hop is not just hip-hop. Hip-hop was a dance music. Then you got into rap. Then you got into gangster music, rap. See, it all kept transcending to another level. And the more progressively degrading it got, the more money it sold. So everybody want to be what they see on TV. I mean, come on, you know, you tell the kids go to school, go to college, the more you learn, the more you earn, you're going to learn. The more you learn, the more you're going to earn, and this, that, and other. He look in school, get out of school, and they tell him, well, you're overqualified. What is that? Come on. Then you go, I didn't get my PhD, you're underqualified. See, this is the conspiracy. They taking this rap music, the gangster rap. Rap, hip-hop was music, yeah, like you say, it's lyricists. They got good music, but when you start with people who shoot up the town, the killers, run around with his pants hanging down, like I told my niece, you dating a guy with his pants sagging, and he's showing his behind to the society. How long is it gonna be before he's showing his behind on you? It's coming. I mean, you know, you be sweating like a Pepsi at a barbecue trying to deal with some of these kids. And we competing against the radio. That's why we can't get them. You can say, I take my son, he's a DJ, he's just jockey in Atlanta. He got the #1 radio show. You know what he does every week? He's got milk crates of CDs of guys sending in their material. He said to the public, listen to this. It's the same thing. He looking for that person that's coming with something with a message, not that negativity. He said, how much of it can you sell? The only people that make money off of that gangster rap is morticians, lawyers, judges, and cops.